evening and welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. As I was gearing up to prepare my list for best albums of 1985, it dawned on me I missed the anniversary of one of the albums I was thinking of putting on there, and I decided I'm going to start off my segment of best albums of 1985 with the release of, or the anniversary of, David Lee Roth's Eat 'Em and Smile. This is his first official solo record. He released a little while before a 4-track EP called Crazy from the Heat, which is basically cover songs. With the biggest hit was I'm Just a Gigolo. It did very well on MTV, showed that Roth had potential of being a solo artist. There was viability in that idea. He was gearing up to make a movie called Going Crazy, I believe, or Crazy from the Heat, one of the two, and he wanted Van Halen to do the soundtrack. Van Halen, Eddie wasn't really sure. He thought the movie was going to bomb. The movie fell through. And then I guess because of these guys' egos, David Lee Roth said he was kicked out. Eddie says it's because he had a solo career with that EP and he's looking at movies. He's not interested in the band. So it depends on who you believe. Everybody has their own perception of what happened. David Lee Roth knows if he's going to go toe to toe with Van Halen, he better get a solid band, and a solid band he did get. You have Billy Sheehan, who would go on to with Mr. Big. You have drummer Greg Bissonette, who would go play with Ringo Starr. And then you have the former Frank Zappa guitar whiz, Steve Vai. So these guys were impeccable. This is like a dream lineup. If you're going to go up against Van Halen, these are the guys you want. And he got them. And that was pretty impressive. So he kind of stayed away from the keyboards, from like that. Everybody thought he was gonna do like 1984 and do something like Jump. He basically went back. He got Ted Templeman, who produced all the Van Halen albums with Roth up to that point, to produce this album. So it kind of sounds like the early Van Halen albums. There's that raw, that swagger that was missing. A lot of people thought was missing on 1984. 10 tracks. You have Yankee Rose, Shy Boy, I'm Easy, Ladies Night in Buffalo, Going Crazy, Tobacco Road, Elephant Gun, Big Trouble, Bump and Grind, That's Life. 10 tracks, 30 minutes long, short and sweet, but I thought this was a great album at the time. Favorite tracks, Yankee Rose, just with the guitar intro alone, it is a classic of that period. Steve Vai talking to Roth through his guitar. You got to hear it once in your life to believe it. Phenomenal guitar playing. Shy Boy is probably one of the most relentless rock songs Roth has ever done. And I think when Eddie Van Halen heard that song, he must have said, ooh, he is taking this seriously. I'm sure Eddie was a little worried when he heard that song. Ladies Night in Buffalo, I think is the most interesting song he's done. It's kind of breezy, has a good groove to it. Going Crazy, I think was supposed to be the title track to the soundtrack. Nice little summer number. Tobacco Road is a great cover song, a great blues song. Elephant Gun is, I think, the best song that showcases Billy Sheehan's bass playing. And I think the band on this song, they're having a blast. Big Trouble sounds more something Steve Vai would have composed, and Roth is just singing to it. But it's a good song nonetheless. That's Love is another cover. That's Life is a good cover. Would I have switched it around? I think I would have not put I'm Easy on the album. Try to find another rock song. Put That's Life after the 7th song, Elephant Gun, and ended off with Bump and Grind. Speaking of Bump and Grind, isn't that one of the best 80s sounding song you ever heard? It epitomizes the 80s to a T, Bump and Grind. Solid album, great playing. Roth is on fire. I think this made Van Halen fans happy. If you were into the old school before 1984, I think this made you happy. I know I love this album. I didn't even listen to 5150 when I first. I was so behind Roth at this point that I think I bought the Van Halen album the week it came out. I think it was in March of '86, and I waited like 4 or 5 months later before I even unwrapped it. I just was on the Roth bandwagon. Saw him live. He came to Montreal, played with Poison. Great show. Enjoyed it. He's a great showman. He still has a solid voice on here. Some people, complain his voice has been, you know, diminishing over time now. He still had it here. He sounded pretty good live too, and he sounds good on this album. Like I said, you got great players on here. If you like Van Halen, and if you never followed David Lee Roth solo, if you're gonna listen to one of them, this is the one to listen to. And that's me. That's one of my choices for 1985. Sorry I missed the anniversary. It came out July 7th, 1985. So this is my first selection. Enjoy. Let me know what you think of this album. Do you have this album? Were you on the David Lee Roth bandwagon or the Sammy Hagar bandwagon? Or you were like me? I was first Roth, warmed up to Sammy, liked them both. Enjoyed two albums that year when they used to come out. 5150, Eat 'em and Smile, Skyscraper, OU 812. Yeah, double your fun, in my opinion. But at first I was with Roth, and this was the album. I like this one a lot. So you let me know what you think. I'll post a couple of songs down below. We would love to hear from you. If you know anybody who likes David Lee Roth or Van Halen, please share this video along with them. Maybe they can get something out of it. And again, hit the like button, subscribe. This is Steven from the Aroundtable with my choice of 1985 favorite albums, and it's Eat 'em and Smile from the one and only Diamond Dave.